Hi, how's it going? Okay, Sunday morning, another installment. I'm going to talk about my book again. And like I said in the last few video blogs, please, if you want to read further on this, I mean, I can talk about it, of course, but I think, as you know, that you can write and develop an idea better through writing, and I think I have. I tend to ramble a bit when I talk. Just things come to my mind, and I can't basically keep the story straight. But I'll do my best just to give you a brief overview of what this chapter has. And like I said, did I say? Hero. It's called Be a Hero, and it's called subtitled Motivation Without Self-Help. So basically, what it is I talk about my love of self-help books. So I've always I've been reading self-help books since I was 15 years old, and things like the genre, maybe what's a good example? Um, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, that type of book. I mean, they definitely have value, and I've read them all. But it's the thing about the self help. It doesn't really. I mean, it's limited in its value. If they did have pure value, one book would probably do it. You wouldn't have to have a genre, so to speak. So, but think that's and I've often thought, and I tried to think of develop that thought in this chapter of why we can't actually, achieve what we want. Why we can't, reach the perfection that we seek. Okay, so. Um, Okay, I've actually wrote this article before I listened to a lecture by Jordan Peterson, but I sort of slipped after listening to a lecture by him. I slipped some of his comments into it. But Jordan Peterson, in this lecture, I forget, I mean, you've probably heard him say this before. He says that you should basically give up on self-help because you can't create your own value or your own values. He says, you are not your own slave, and he talks like basically directly about this problem, about how self mastery is difficult because of that, because we are not basically as strong as we think we are, and going to the gym and studying for degrees or actually doing anything to make ourselves better isn't that requires hard work. It is just that hard work, and sometimes as fallen humans, we are not up to the task. So he says basically the way to go about this, the one way, and which I believe too um, before even listening to Jordan, was that we do need something outside of ourselves, and I got that from the samurai. And I've sort of tried to link the two here, the samurai and the Christians. The samurai would had a like ethics, and they would. Um, okay, let me just have a quick look what I said about the samurai, so I can quote that. Mm, oh, yeah, I mean they had the samurai had their own way. It was sort of not earthly. Like they believed that like the Christians too, and maybe like all the greats, that if you wanted to overcome um, mortality, you had to overcome the fear of death. So quickly back to the Christians, the Christianity and the cross, the crucifix is a symbol of this type of thinking. So what when Jesus put that cross on his shoulder and walked up the hill to get to accept his fate, he could have run, he could have escaped. There's probably the normal human would have, but he bore that cross, which is a symbol of his responsibility, and he accepted his death, which the samurai did. The samurais, they would accept their death, and by doing so, I mean they would, if they made some mistake, some mistake of morality, and if they didn't reach the level that they expected of themselves, they would just open themselves up, stab themselves in the stomach, and have their colleagues lop their heads off. And by doing so, they acted as a model for the rest of us, which is, thank God for that. They acted a model as the rest of us to take our responsibility seriously. So yeah, so Jesus and the samurai in this case, they accepted, they were very humble, but they served someone or something other than themselves, and by doing so, they were able to overcome their fears, not only of death but of their other fears, and repair themselves and seek by having something to look up to, um, and to, like in the case of Christians, like a higher being or somebody perfect. And the samurai also were seeking perfection, and they acted as a model for the rest of us. Okay, so I go on in this book and talk about how we can practically be heroes. So if you want to talk about this, please in the comments. We can probably talk a lot. It's a good way to, a back and forth is good on this topic. You can actually develop it quite well. But I have developed to a certain extent in the book, so please, if you want to have a copy, just send me an email on Samurai Running Japan. Go to the website, and if you need a coach, please try me for a month. I'll send you this book for free, and a one free 1 month of online running coaching, and we can go back and forth, not only about this topic but about running in itself. So beginners really welcome. So first timers, I'll give that offer. It's about $50 US. So again, if you don't find value, if I can't give you value in that first month, just move on. But I'm sure I can. So give it a go. All right, I'll finish off today. It's a beautiful day. It's going to be about 29, 30 today. So I'm going to get out amongst it, do a longish run. Okay, before the rainy season comes, which is in June this year. Usually it starts in May, but since I've been in Japan, it's getting later and later. So we have another week, I think, of nice weather without humidity and rain. So make the most of that. Okay. Anyway, I hope you get some value out of this, and please let me know. By the way, thanks, Ewan, for the long comments that you made on the last one. I appreciate that. Ewan is one of the best, so I'm glad I'm still his friend after all these years. Okay, cheers, Ewan. All right, thanks a lot. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.